Welcome to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with intuitive lightworker, national speaker, metaphysical teacher, and best-selling author Lisa Kessler. What is it you want to manifest? Are you looking to increase your income, change careers? Maybe you want to manifest a new home or a new car. Are you ready to bring love into your life? You have come to the right place.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. We are going to be getting into the metaphysical side of metaphysical manifesting today because I want to talk to you about different ways to use tarot and oracle cards to really strengthen your trust in your own intuition as you manifest. It becomes a really great tool for tapping in, for reflecting on things that happen as you're manifesting. And I think a lot of times people get caught up in tarot cards wondering what's going to happen next, right? In movies and TV, that's always what they get used for. Gosh, even my own father, who knows that I do tarot readings, will call me and say things like, "Are you telling fortunes?" And I have to explain to him that is not, in fact, what I do. So without making this into a giant speech about what tarot cards are and what they aren't, what I want to talk about is that we as spiritual beings having a human experience, we need to really find ways that we can support ourselves when we're manifesting, because it is a long-term journey. And it's not about asking your cards to tell you what to do or asking your cards what's going to happen. It's not prediction and it's not fortune telling. That really is handing over your power to something else. And tarot is just a tool. It's pictures printed on cardboard that we shuffle and pull a card. Where the magic happens is with your intention. Whenever you are working with tarot or oracle cards, that kind of a divination card thing, your intention is the magic. Because I don't know, I can't explain to you how that part works, but I have seen it work so many times that I don't question it. But if you have an intention, you will always draw the card you need. I have no explanation for it. I'll share a short story because I can't help it. But one day I was doing a reading for a man. I was in a metaphysical shop at the time back in San Diego. And he came in and it was his first tarot reading ever. And he sat down across from me. And as I'm shuffling, we're introducing each other. And I tell him that I want to know our intention. What are we asking? What are we pulling the cards for? Otherwise, you end up with answers and you don't know what the question was. So you always need an intention. And this man sits across from me and tells me he has never had a tarot reading before and he's not sure he believes in any of this, but he needs some guidance about his job. And I can't remember all of the details about his job, but I feel like he was trying to decide if he should go out on his own or go apply at this different company. I think it was construction, but that part doesn't matter. But anyway, I shuffle and we decide, okay, we are pulling cards for, his job. And I always give people the option, if it's in person, if they want to pull the cards or if they want me to have my primary guide, Morgan, pull the cards with my pendulum. And he said, I'll pull the cards. And I spread them out. And that man, I told him to pull 5 cards. And he pulls the first 5 cards at the end of the deck that I had rolled out. He did not feel the energy of the cards. He just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I thought, oh, this is how this reading's going to go. Okay. So I put the rest of the cards away and we lay out his 5 that he picked. And you guys, as we turned them over, every single card all 5 were pentacles, which is your money, which is your career, your material world things. And it ended up being an incredible reading. And he had goosebumps on his arms and was left a little bit shocked. But he got a lot of great insight. So how that magical part works, I don't know, but it always does. And his intention was for his work. And even though he didn't feel all of the cards, obviously his guides and angels knew he was going to pull the first 5 because he got exactly what he needed. And I'm sharing this because trusting your intuition, it does not natural, because we get told from the time that we're kids that it's all in your imagination, that you're imagining it. And so when we do get intuitive nudges, we typically talk ourselves out of them, especially if it's a nudge we weren't expecting and it seems a little bit scary, right? So if you are using tarot cards for your manifesting, it's less about telling you what will happen and more about helping you hear your intuition, to hear it more clearly and to trust it. So again, we are not going to ask, our intention isn't going to be what's going to happen at that job interview, or, what will they do with this situation that I'm in, or is this relationship going to work out? Really, what tarot cards are excellent at doing is showing you energy and potential. And the greatest gift of tarot is clarity. Clarity. Because tarot doesn't create your path. I say it in my book, but tarot doesn't tell you what's going to happen. It facilitates the possibilities because it shows you what is possible. We always have free will. We always get to choose, right? But tarot can shine a light so that you get to decide what your path is going to be. You do it. The cards are just a reflection of what you are already contemplating in your subconscious, all that that's why you draw the card you need, right? So think of your tarot when you're manifesting as a mirror. When you pull a card, it's not like you are, dialing up fate and destiny. You're really holding up a mirror. So if you pull the Fool and your intention was, how can I look at this situation that's happening at work? I've been offered this job, but I'm not sure if I want it, and I need some clarity. Asking your cards for clarity is such a beautiful thing because they will give it to you. Whether you are excited about it or not, you always get the card you need. So let's say you pulled the Fool. It could be asking you, what if you trusted yourself? What if you said yes? What if? Journal about it, think about it, meditate on it. That is the beauty of a tarot card when you're manifesting. If you pull the Star, maybe it's reminding you that your big dream, this new job, might be on the way to that big dream. It's giving you hope. And, the power is not in the cardboard of those cards. The power is in your intuition, your interpretation of what you pulled. It's how your body reacts. It's that first inkling of an idea when you turn over the card. In my book, I'm always talking about trust that initial gut instinct when you turn it over. When I do my weekly tarot readings on YouTube, which if you've never seen them, I do a free tarot reading every week on YouTube. So the link for my YouTube channel is in the show notes. So I hope you'll subscribe because it just gives you a weekly check-in to what the energy is. The intention is always, what do we need to know this week? And so it's very general, but it gives you a good temperature gauge for the week ahead. Anyway, back to when you're flipping over those cards. Whenever I do those weekly readings, I never turn over the cards before I hit the record button. And the reason for that is to me anyway, when you are using tarot and oracle cards, it is too easy to talk yourself out of it. So go with that initial thing that pops in your head when you turn over that card, whether or not it is the traditional meaning in the book. That is the message, is what happens when you flip over that card. So even for myself, when I do readings, I never look at the cards ahead of time, because to me, the purest message from the universe comes right from your intuition with the second you flip over that card, right? Then you can look at the whole spread and see how they talk to each other. But basically, it gives you that clarity that is sometimes hard to find when you're manifesting and you really want something, right? So pulling a tarot card every day when you're manifesting, it really strengthens your trust in your intuition, because you can keep a journal and write down how things go and what does this card mean to me. And then by the end of the week, you can go, oh my gosh, look what's saying yes to that job. It changed my whole life, right? And without that kind of reflection, what can happen sometimes when you're manifesting is you get impatient. And you start to see every delay as failure. And pretty soon, you just give up. And that is the only way you can't manifest your dreams, is if you give up. You've got to keep going, because the miracle is right around the corner. And that is when you grab your tarot cards, it's not so that they'll tell you what to do next. It's so that you can reflect on where you've been, where you're going, and how you might want to take some chances coming up. You're learning things. You're learning to separate fear from your intuition, and you're learning to remove your ego and accept the guidance that you get when you flip over that card. So anyway, when you are pulling cards and manifesting, instead of asking what's going to happen, here are a few intentions that you can try. You can pull a card with the intention of, what energy am I embodying right now? Because tarot cards run the whole gamut, those 78 cards. It's not like they're just going to tell you, oh, you're sunshiny and perfect every time. Sometimes you might pull the devil card, which the energy you're embodying right now is that maybe you need to give up what no longer serves you. You are expending energy on things that do not give you positive energy back. Right? Another intention you can use is, what lesson is there for me? Because sometimes when we're going through tough situations, it's because we're growing. How can we ever grow if we don't have an obstacle, right? This takes me back to when my daughter was a competitive figure skater, and some days you just fall over and over and over learning a new skill. And she would come off the ice all soaking wet, and we would look at each other and say, well, you'll never know when you're awesome if you don't have a day when you suck. And that is true of your whole life. So if you're going through a tough situation or an obstacle, a great intention for pulling a card is, what is the lesson here, right? Another one you can ask is, what am I not seeing clearly? That's a great one. You can pull a card at the end of the day if that works better for you and your schedule, and pull the card as a reflection. How can I look at today differently? And pull a card. Or how can I build on today? Pull a card. If there was a certain situation that happened that day, how can I grow from this, bad review at work or something like that? Because the thing is, tarot is never about surrendering your power. Never surrender your power to a tarot card. Your free will is your magic. But tarot cards are a great way to move your ego out of the way so that you can consciously co-create with the universe. That's what a tarot and oracle card can really work to help you with. So when you use tarot as a reflection, as you're on this manifesting marathon, because usually it takes a while to manifest something big, when you're using tarot as a reflection, it doesn't predict your future. It just helps you adjust your energy along the way. A card can sometimes help you remove doubt. It can sometimes help you remove fear. It can reveal when it's time to act, because manifestation isn't about hoping, oh, please let me draw the sun card. It's about aligning your mindset and emotions with the thing that you're manifesting. Tarot just helps you see where you are, right? So here's something that you can try this week. Just pull a card every morning. You can even pull just with the same intention every day. What energy should I use this week? Today, if you're going to do it every day, what energy would serve me best today? And then journal out what that first gut reaction is when you flip over that card. If you flipped the Temperance card, how are you going to bring more balance into your life today? Don't Google the meaning of the card. Don't pull out the guidebook, even though I wrote a guidebook that I was really happy with. Don't pull out the guidebook. Just think about your gut reaction when you turned it over, and then write down what that meant to you. And then you can pull out the book and look at it and compare and contrast. And also maybe the book will also give you an extra nugget of something that you hadn't thought of. It's just a way to build your trust and your intuition as you're on this long journey. So to wrap this all up, because I could talk about tarot all day. But to wrap it up, when you are manifesting, tarot cards isn't about predicting what comes next. It is not about telling your fortune. It's about reconnecting you to your own inner wisdom, because you don't need a tarot card to tell you who you are. You need a tarot card to reflect what's going on and help you remember who you are. You're stronger than you know, right? So instead of pulling tarot cards like an act of codependency, please tell me what to do, instead, just ask better questions and then journal it out. Take just a minute to really get this spiritual practice going, because when you have the practice in place, when you do have a tough day, you already have your support system ready to go to lift you back up so that you can keep trying, right? Because trusting in your intuition, that is the best guidance system anyway, that we have for co-creating with the universe and for seeing it through until our dream, our miracle is here, is to keep going, to not give up. And tarot cards can really help you to develop that self-trust and also to be able to see things from a whole different perspective, right? The best thing is we were blessed with this intuitive insight, your third eye chakra. It's all there. It's wired in, but we have to stop talking ourselves out of it. So just remember that when you're setting up your spiritual practice, whether it's cards or crystals, whatever it might be, just know that you should keep practicing it daily, just so that when you do hit a hard time, instead of giving up, you have a support system already in place to lift you back up. Because the truth is, the universe has had your back all along.
Thanks for listening to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with Lisa Kessler. If you have questions or comments, or if you'd like to work with Lisa to manifest your dreams, you can connect with her through her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net. That's also where you can claim your free weekly tarot reading and manifesting tips. Make sure you subscribe or follow the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast on your favorite podcasting site so you never miss another episode. As Lisa likes to say, we can make magic when we bring the universe into the equation. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. If you'd like more information about Lisa, Metaphysical Manifestation Mentorship, or the Manifesting Magic Mastermind, visit her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net.